Hi, I'm Bob Wolverton. I'm the founder and CEO of Top Tier Leadership Training. We specialize in providing executive-level leadership training to leaders of any and all organizations. I constantly hear people say they want to learn more about leadership. And if the person making that statement is part of the management team, I ask them, what are you leading towards? The word leadership implies you're leading towards something. What is that something? When your management team can't answer that question, that should be a huge red flag that there's a problem in the leadership of the organization. So here's the important thing to know. Executive level leadership is a different type of leadership than what we normally see at the lower levels of an organization. Executive level leadership is where executives are engaged in sense making and direction setting for people they may never see face to face. Whereas interpersonal leadership, that's what most of us are familiar with, and it occurs at lower levels in the organization and usually involves face-to-face interaction and usually does not include creating the direction. The primary purpose of the strategic apex of an organization is to provide direction. Even in this inverted pyramid illustrating the concept of servant leadership, the primary purpose of the top executives is to keep mission and strategies clear. That's just a different way of saying provide direction. Statistics from the Small Business Administration show that 80% of all businesses that are created each year will fail within 5 years. And of those that survive, 80% of those will fail within the next 5 years. Why is that? Why are so many of these businesses failing? In most cases, it's because the people at or near the top of the organizational pyramid do not understand how their leadership role at or near the executive level is different than it was at the supervisory level. And it is completely different. The problem is there's not enough training on how these roles are different. That's where my company fills the gap. You know, personally, I have a very simple process that I use to determine if the executives of an organization understand their role in executive level leadership. It's a very simple process. I go to their website and I read their vision and mission statement. From that alone, I can tell if there's some red flags indicating the executives may not fully understand their role in executive level leadership. The vision and mission of an organization is critically important to the success of any organization. Yet I find it's also the most misunderstood component of an organization. I remember once I was talking about the importance of vision and mission, and an executive actually said to me, "Oh, vision and mission statements, I thought that was something you framed, put on the wall, and then went about your daily business. Just check the box and it's done." That executive did not understand the importance of vision and mission statements. Now I'm going to give you a jump start here by giving you some simple yet very powerful definitions of a vision statement and a mission statement, and I want you to write these down. A vision statement is an aspirational statement of what the organization aspires to achieve or aspires to become as an organization. It's a forward-looking statement. It's looking towards the future of the organization, what the organization will become. So I'll say it one more time. A vision statement is an aspirational statement of what the organization aspires to achieve or aspires to become as an organization. It's that simple. Now, a mission statement is a public declaration of why you exist as an organization. Let me say that again. It's a public declaration of why you exist as an organization. So let me give you some examples. Let's start with the Wounded Warrior Project. Their vision statement is, "Our vision is to foster the most successful, well-adjusted generation of wounded service members in our nation's history." That's what they aspire to achieve as an organization. Now let's look at their mission statement. Remember, the public declaration of why they exist as an organization. To honor and empower wounded warriors. A very clear, simple statement of why they exist. Now let's look at Charity Water. Their vision statement is, "We believe we can end the water crisis in our lifetime by ensuring that every person on the planet has access to life's most basic need, clean drinking water." That's what they aspire to accomplish as an organization. Their mission statement is, "We're a nonprofit organization bringing clean, safe drinking water to people in developing countries." It doesn't get more clear or simple than that explanation of why they exist as an organization. So let's look at one more. The American Heart Association. Now they have a goal. They call it their 2020 goal, but it's really more like a vision statement, and it is. The AHA is working to improve the cardiovascular health of all Americans by 20% and reduce deaths from cardiovascular diseases and stroke by 20% by the year 2020. That is a description of what they aspire to achieve as an organization. Their mission statement is to be a relentless force for a world of longer, healthier lives. Again, another short yet very clear explanation of why they exist as an organization. Okay, here's a completely different test you can use in your company to decide if you or your organization needs help with understanding executive level leadership. I call it the top 5 priority test. Get your leadership team into a room. Your leadership team might be 3 people, 5 people, 7 people, or even more, depending on the size of your organization. Give them each a pen and paper and ask them to list the top 5 priorities of your organization. Then have them compare their answers. Now, in your mind's eye, picture doing that exercise in real life. What percentage of your top managers are going to have the same 5 priorities listed? I can tell you from experience, the statistical probability of them having the same priorities listed is very, very low. And here's why I know that. In 2017, MIT reported on a survey of more than 10,000 managers across 400 organizations and asked them the same question. Now, as a measure of success, they said if 2/3 of the managers are on the same sheet of music, they'll call that a success, which is an interesting benchmark because in the academic world, if you get a 66% on your test, that's usually a failing grade. But okay, so in this case, the acceptable benchmark is 66%. How often did the survey show that 2/3 of the managers listed the same organizational priorities? Only 27% of the time. A 27% success rate. Or conversely, a 73% failure rate. If your top managers do not all know what the top priorities are of your organization, that is a failure of executive level leadership. The managers are working with the best of intentions doing what they think they should be doing, but they're obviously not getting direction from the strategic apex if they don't list the same top 5 priorities, which means they're all rowing in a different direction and not achieving their fullest potential because they aren't getting the guidance that is a key function of executive level leadership. And if you just did that top 5 priority test in your mind's eye and in your mind the results were not good, that is where my company can help. Our training is targeted for your executive team as well as your mid-managers and your rising stars who will eventually become your executives of tomorrow. We provide 1-day and 2-day trainings on executive level leadership. In our 1-day leadership course, we cover theories of employee motivation and how those relate to employee engagement, empowerment, and the organizational vision and mission. And let me tell you, when you learn how to tie together theories of motivation with your vision and mission statements, your employees will transform from, I don't make the rules, I only work here, to working for you with their blood, sweat, and tears. And what this means to you is this connection will breathe new life into your organization and your employees will be more committed than ever. Your absenteeism rate will decrease, your turnover rate will decrease, and your productivity will increase. Additionally, on day 1, we also cover the core differences of executive level leadership compared to the interpersonal leadership that your employees used at the supervisory level, and they're probably trying to shoehorn in at the executive level right now. Interpersonal leadership that was used at the supervisory level is completely incompatible with leadership at the strategic apex of your organization. On the 2nd day of training, we teach you how to recognize and improve systems within your organization. Everything you do in your organization is a system, probably created by you. And if you don't recognize that now, you definitely will after the training. We take those systems and show you how to apply the concepts of Lean Six Sigma to making those systems more efficient. And what that means to you is this process will eliminate waste in your organization of both your human and your capital resources and will also eliminate frustrations for your employees. Then also on the 2nd day, we show you a step-by-step process on how to create a strategic plan. Your strategic plan should be a step-by-step guide on how you're going to make your vision statement a reality. In essence, how you're going to make your vision statement come true. Your strategic plan is where your organization's top priorities come from. And if you don't already have a strategic plan, there's a high statistical probability your management team will not pass my top 5 priorities test. And if your managers don't pass my test, what that means is there's a lack of direction from the strategic apex. That is a failure of executive level leadership. We also have 1-hour presentations available as an introduction to the concept of executive level leadership. These 1-hour presentations are perfect for association luncheons or breakout sessions at conferences. Whatever your preference is that will meet your needs, whether that's a 1-day seminar, a 2-day seminar, or a 1-hour introduction, you can call me to arrange whatever you need. I'm Bob Wolverton. I'm the founder and CEO of Top Tier Leadership Training. We specialize in teaching executive level leadership so organizations of all sizes can achieve phenomenal success. Call me or send me an email and let's have a discussion to find out if our executive leadership program is right for your organization.